Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. So, okay, first thing I did there, you can talk to some people and give them some gems, and they will give you some bonuses during the run. So the first person I talked to gave me 200 coins, which may be relevant, maybe not. And the other one lets me set my starting area to whatever the last area I was in my previous run. So I start with fire. Also, yeah, this game is a twin-stick shooter roguelite, and hopefully things will be moving fairly fast. Oh, I also need to remember to press buttons. So yeah, the reason I go fire first is just because fire spends the least amount of downtime, especially in progressive levels. Essentially, there are 3 levels, and when you fight things determines how difficult it's going to be. Or how difficult it is going to be, not when. That was pretty good. We're not getting many room fights, which is ideal. Really, like, yeah, so our starting relic is the map, lets us just run straight to the exits of every floor. And here's our first boss. So it's just going to be letting her do her thing, and then after 3 attacks she'll be vulnerable. So we just kind of wail on her for a little bit. Oh, shoot. There you go. Once they go below 50% health, they will do a signature attack on their next step. So that's what those meteors were, but pretty easy. So for our loadout, we use the map, obviously, and then we've got the lightning attack, which is a lot of very quick hits, which combined with the magnetic follow-up ability, which shoots rocks every time you attack, just puts out insane amounts of damage because you're putting out a lot of rocks really quickly. The dash we use is a little bit broken, just because it's the only dash that lets you actually jump over walls in the game. And then we have a bunch of summons for our signature ability. And your signature ability, once you build up the meter, you get to use like an upgraded version of it. Also, filling up the meter immediately takes it off cooldown. So the hope in a lot of situations is that I can summon 5 guys, and then while they're out, fill the meter, take it immediately off cooldown, and summon 5 more guys. These are actually really nice layers I'm getting. But I'm not getting a lot of relics for damage. So. Oh, shoot. There we go. What? Summon burgers. I'm like missing all of what's going on. So, second boss, things get slightly more difficult. They'll do 4 attacks, and their attacks tend to be more damage, more difficult to avoid. So, for example, those like ice spears, there'll be only 3 of those if she's on the lower level, and like 9 of them on a higher level. Also, ideally, because weaknesses and resistances are a thing, and so much of my damage is electricity based, which does more damage to water. Ideally, she would never have hit that phase of doing her signature attack, but it's fine. Still a reasonably quick fight. So here's what I wanted to avoid. Getting locked into rooms like this, especially because of things like this. So there's certain rooms where the next set of enemies won't spawn until you've beaten the first. Grab some armor, and yeah, that can be the real killer for time. A lot of the run tends to revolve around getting really good first relics, because those are your best sources of damage. They tend to mean you also take more damage, but we haven't really seen anything to pick up, so... That's on the way. No, nothing. There we go. So we were able to skip a huge section of that map just by, oh, shoot. Just by jumping over a wall. However, I did waste my signature at the start of that fight. Probably gonna have to pay a little more attention for this next fight because things are a little risky. Okay, that was actually really good. So he never quite went below 50% health, so he never did his signature attack. So that made the fight slightly easier. And so now we're at the last boss. So the last boss has two phases. First phase is he's going to put up a shield, and he's going to do a couple of attacks. And every time we knock him out of the shield, we get to do a bit of damage to him. There we go. Second phase is going to be a lot of him running around. Quite get enough damage in there. Not enough. Also, unlike other bosses, he doesn't actually have a signature attack, but I guess you could count his signature attack as being each of the different final attacks he does. So he'll do an attack of every element, and then he'll do a chaos attack, which is what this purple stuff is. There we go. One of the summons killed him. And that's time. So yeah. That's Wizard of Legend. And just going to go through the credits here just to see what my time actually was, because this is measured off in-game time. That actually went a lot better than I was expecting, considering how volatile speedrunning a roguelike could be in a marathon setting where I don't get to pick the run. Actually, that was sub 7, so that's really good. I was going to settle for sub 8.